Hey there, welcome back to The Simple Truth with Stuart. Feeling the pressure to boost your conversions but unsure where to start? Welcome to the Lead Avalanche. Today, we're dropping a knowledge bomb with 3 explosive skills that will skyrocket your conversion rates. Get ready to learn proven strategies to turn your leads into loyal customers. If you're ready to take your sales game to the next level and watch your business flourish, this episode is pure gold. Buckle up and let's get started. Well, welcome to everybody and thank you for joining me today. Now, really what I want to talk about is something that is hopefully going to help you to move your business from this lead generation, which is part of your business, something that you've got to do every single day, and taking it to those leads, which is actually deals, it's clients. And one thing that I actually came to realize is lead generation is all about building relationships. It's all about having conversations with people that is related and relevant to the industry that you're in. So that's the key to lead generation. It's to generate those particular leads. However, something that actually started to almost pop its head up was I've had a number of clients and agents saying to me, Stuart, I'm doing the lead generation activities. I'm getting in these leads, but I'm not able to convert them into clients. And this is really, it's a key component. It's actually what we refer to as the conversion of those leads. And going through this particular process, I actually started to look a little bit deeper. I've asked clients, well, tell me about your lead generation. What exactly are you doing? And I'm finding that the activities are absolutely fantastic. They really are focused around building those behaviors of generating leads. But then there's a missing link. So looking deeper into it, I actually go right back to the beginning and I look at the activities that they're doing. And then I started to analyze those particular activities to see why is it becoming so difficult to convert a lead into a client to get that particular conversion. And ultimately what I got to discover is, yes, we're doing the lead generation, but there's a few little tick boxes that were missing in the very beginning to help convert those leads. And that's exactly what I want to share with you today. It's when you start doing your lead generation, what you really need to do is you need to go back one little step, do these 3 skills, these 3 little things that I want to share with you today. By doing these and then implementing it into your lead generation activities, what you're going to find is your conversion from those leads that are coming in into a client suddenly steps up to a much higher level. And what it'll also do is by doing this, it's actually going to help your lead generation campaign as well, because if you're going out and lead generating, let's say to 100 individuals, and from that you're typically getting maybe 6 or 7 leads, maybe with these little skills and tricks that I'm going to share with you today, you'll actually take those 100 individuals and maybe start pushing that up to maybe 20 leads, because you're actually approaching it in a very unique way. So that's what I want to share with you today. And this is definitely going to be something that each and every one of you, you can do this almost in your sleep. It is definitely a way to be able to build your particular business. Now, I call this a lead avalanche. I just thought that was a really appropriate name for this particular session, a lead avalanche. And really what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be sharing 3 skills that's ultimately going to help you to explode your conversions. So let's get into today and actually have this particular conversation so that you get this avalanche of leads. It really became something that it really just hit me to another level when I started saying, hey, a lead avalanche. Well, that's what we want. We want all these leads to start coming into us. So let's have a look at the very, very first one, which ultimately is the first skill. It's called the compelling offer. And this is the first part of it that you need to really do. You need to be able to craft a message that resonates. And that is so, so important. When we start going through our lead generation of when we're speaking to particular individuals, potential clients, we need to make sure that we crafted that message in such a manner that they go, hey, you're talking to me. That's the simplicity of it. We want them to go, hey, you're talking to me. Because when we create that particular conversation, suddenly you're going to find more eyes and ears are focused towards yourself. So that's actually the most important part of it. So the very first one out is you need to, in order to create that compelling offer, you need to identify your ideal customer. And so too often when I'm having the analysis of a particular client that I'm working with, of their clients, they sit back and they say to me, Stuart, I actually don't know, which is actually mind-blowing, because if you don't know your client, how are you going to speak to them? So number one is you need to start identifying your ideal customer. Now, how do we identify our ideal customer? Look at your product, look at your service. Really identify what that product and service is and exactly what it delivers. From there, well, who would be the best person to purchase or go through and complete any form of contract with that product or service? And ultimately, that's the step to start identifying your ideal customer. I said to you in the beginning, we want to start targeting, if we're going to reach out to maybe 100 individuals, we want to take that conversion ratio of only getting maybe 6 leads. We want to start pushing it up to 20 leads. Well, imagine if you were doing a compelling offer and those 100 individuals were your ideal customer. Already you can start seeing how that conversion of leads that are going to start coming in will start to increase because you're resonating with them and there's a big connection with them. So number one is you need to start to identify your ideal customer. The second is you start to highlight pain points and solutions. Now, this is something where a lot of people kind of go, well, how do I identify my clients' pain points? I don't know them. Well, you've already identified your clients. You know your product and you know your service. Why would your ideal customer come to you? What is that connection? Well, that is either a pain point or a solution. You see, they have a certain requirement, they have a certain need. And what are you going to do? You want to make sure that you can give them the solution to fulfill it. What is that solution? Well, it's your product or your service. So it's so important that when you're going through, have a look at your product and your service and identify the wants and the needs. Why? Why would your clients want to use it? Why do they use your service? So there you're starting to create this actual base when you're going into your lead generation campaigns. Now, the third one, when you're compelling, when you're creating a compelling offer, well, it's your unique value proposition. You see, there's got to be something that's going to make you stand out above everybody else. If you were the only person that offered a selected niche service or a unique product, well, there becomes your unique value proposition. You're unique. You're the only one with that service or product. The truth now is there are so many people that are offering the exact same solution as yourself. So what you need to do is you need to dig a little bit deeper. You need to understand, what is the value that I can offer my particular clients? Is it something where I've high on after sales service? Is it something that I've got extended warranties? Is it something where I've got that personal touch? It's so important to be able to relay that to your clients. So step number one, and the first skill that you really need to start to get under the belt, is the compelling offer. It's basically so that you can resonate with your clients. So one, identify your ideal customer. Make sure that you know exactly who they are. Two, highlight the pain points and those unique solutions that you can actually offer. And three, create that unique value proposition. This is something that is so important. When you start putting that together into a package and you start presenting that to your clients, those 100 individuals, well, now you can already see how the conversion of only 6 or 7 leads can definitely increase to 20 to 25 leads. And remember, once you start getting more leads, you've already given them your value proposition. Those 20, 25 leads very quick will start to become a client. So that's the first skill that we really need to do. And this is one of the areas where I saw there was a shortfall, is we don't create this compelling offer when we're actually going out and speaking with our particular clients. So make sure that you put that together. 1, identify your clients. 2, highlight those pain points and solutions. And 3, that unique value proposition. Put all together. So that's the first skill. The second skill is about building trust and authority. And it's so, so important. Why? Because as much as you're giving this information over to people, you could just be the next person that's just faking it to make it. And ultimately, people look at you and say, well, are you a credible source? The service that you're offering, is it something that's professional? Am I going to, with the money that I'm going to spend with you, get the absolute best out of you? So you need to become that credible source of information where everybody is basically saying you are the one that we trust and you are the one that leads in this particular industry, in this particular area. So second skill, it's all about building trust and authority. And here, the first thing that you can do here is you can start creating the social proofs and testimonials. Now, what are social proofs? Well, it's so simple because social media is such a powerful tool to spread your word. People go onto social media, and when they can actually see reviews and testimonials about your service, about your product, it just levels you up a bit. So one area that I've really working with clients is when you've done a transaction with somebody, when you've done any form of relationship building with a person that has resulted in a form of revenue or income towards you, ask them, hey, would you mind giving me a review? Hey, what about a testimonial? I'd love to hear your thoughts on what I did great. And use that in your social platforms so that when people are actually looking to find a specific product or service and they come across that, it gives you that validity. And that's really, it's starting to build this trust. Remember, a lot of those 100 individuals that you're going to make contact with may or may not know you. So they don't trust you yet. But when they can see a source that's out in the open and being very transparent, suddenly they feel a little bit at ease. And this is a great, great way to start building that trust and authority. So number 1 is that social proof and its testimonials. The second is your content marketing strategies. And what we mean by content market strategies is when you're actually presenting yourself in any one of your campaigns, any one of your marketing campaigns, it shouldn't just be a simple copy paste and there we go. It's out, it's gone. And we're hoping to get all of those leads coming into our particular business. No. We need to take the first skill, which was obviously making sure that we identify the clients and identifying their wants and their needs, their pain points, and creating that unique value proposition. We need to make sure that we are extremely relevant with the way we market. We don't want to just market in a very random fashion. Look at the content that you're marketing out there. Is it focused to your target audience? And your target audience, are they on a specific platform that you're actually trying to approach? So for instance, if you're going to be doing some, let's say for instance, some TikTok videos and you're wanting to sell a certain product, but your audience is more of a mature and an older audience, well, you've got to ask yourself the question, is my audience on TikTok? Is it a better way to send them maybe a newsletter or an email? Maybe it's a better way to actually put it up onto Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn. You see, it's so important to identify the correct platform. And then once you've got the correct platform, you need to make sure that the content is relevant to the audience so that when they actually have a look at it. And this is one area where it is a challenge for many people because they're not too sure on what to do. So the easiest part here is think of it as if you're the audience and you're reading that. So you've identified yourself as your ideal client and you're reading that. Does that resonate with you? Would you click on that particular button? Would you actually get that relevant information to say, hey, I actually know this particular individual, this particular product, and I want to deal with them. So relevancy, it's so important when you're going through. Now, the third one, and this one here is one where it's like the most obvious, yet it's the one that we do the least about. It's building those relationships and those engagements. You see, way too often, we actually have people that connect with us and we give them the very short answer, yes, I can help you. And then we stop there. What we really need to do is if anybody gives you any form of engagement, you need to start trying to see how you can build a relationship with them. Now, building a relationship with them is asking them the simple questions. And here we use that Ford method because it's the easiest way to build a relationship. Ford, F for family, O for organization, R for recreation, D for dreams and desires. So family, just get to know them about their family. Hey, just tell us about the family. And you start going into how's the family doing, etc. Organization, it's all about what they do for an income. It's their work, it's their business. It's getting to know them from that side. Recreation, these are all about the hobbies, the things that they do outside of work and business. And D, the dreams and desires, where do you see yourself in 1 year, 3 years? Hey, imagine if you took that particular hobby and you made it into a profession. You see, when you're starting to build those relationships with people and you're engaging with them on an ongoing basis, ultimately it starts building trust. And this is something that I've learned so many times is friends buy from friends. And ultimately, those 100 individuals that's going to come through, I always say to clients, you need to make those 100 individuals your friends. You need to make sure that you can build the trust with them so that they know you, they trust you, and they want to deal with you. So the second skill, it's all about building trust and authority, and that is through those social proofs. Get those reviews and testimonials. The second is the content marketing strategies. Have a look at the content, make sure it's relevant and talking to your audience on the correct platforms. That is so important. And the last one is building those relationships and those engagements. Any leads that are coming through, any referrals, you want to grow on them. You want to make sure that you master that relationship building with each and every one of them that come through. Because ultimately, when you've got those 20, 25 leads that are coming through, well, guess what? It's so much easier to convert them into a client for life when you actually know more about them. So that's the actual second skill that I'm wanting you to overview and have a look at in your business. Now, the third one, and this is really starting to take it to more of a business-minded area, which is mastering the conversion funnel. And really mastering a conversion funnel. A conversion funnel is we start out with 100 leads or 100 individuals that we want to target. Those 100 individuals will then go down to potentially 20 to 25 potential leads. We're going to take those 20 to 25 potential leads and we want to take them down to 4 to 5 long-term customers. That's this conversion funnel. And at each step, we need to make sure that we're actually prospecting with them in such a seamless manner that it's going to allow you to start taking that conversion ratio and actually starting to increase it. So we spoke about in the beginning, if you have 100 individuals and if you're just doing the random, you could be ending up with maybe 5 or 6 leads. Now, there's a very low conversion ratio. So first one is we want to increase those 5, 6 leads to 20 to 25. Imagine this. Imagine you increase that to 50 to 60. Imagine that 100 individuals that you contact and you start getting 50 to 60 leads. Just imagine what that would do for your business. Then from those leads, we need to convert them into clients. So this entire process is building those relationships to make sure that you can then convert them and build them into those clients. Now, instead of just maybe 2 or 3 clients, maybe you can take it up to 10 to 15 clients. And that's about mastering this conversion funnel, is understanding each level as you're going through it and making sure that you're able to start increasing those conversions. So first one that I want to share with you is it's optimizing what we refer to as a landing page. Now, optimizing a landing page means when we're working with those 100 individuals, we've already got that message that is now very, very related to a specific audience on a specific platform. Now, we need to make sure that it's not something that is so complicated that nobody can actually go through and read it. So your conversion pages, those landing pages that has all your content. So whether it's a real estate description, whether it's a product description, whether it's a service description, whatever it might be, you need to take a step back, look at that particular landing page that they're going to come onto. It could even be a Facebook post. How optimized is it? Is it something that's so convoluted that they read it, they go, there's so many words here, we have no idea what you're actually doing? Make sure that you hit the point very, very quickly. And in order to do this, we use a method called AIDA. Now, AIDA it's an acronym. It's AIDA. So A, you want to create the attention. So when somebody lands on a particular landing page, you want to get the attention, which goes, hey, what's that? Why's that? Then you want to share with them an interest. Because you know your audience, you can share something that's interesting that can relate to them. And they'll go, hey, that's actually interesting. I want to read further. The D is the desire. And that particular desire is all about, hey, you know what? That product is really good for me. You know what? That service is really going to help me in my pains that I'm experiencing at the moment. And then your A, well, that's the action that you're actually going to come into, which will be the third point that we're going to talk about just now. So look at that particular landing page and make sure it's really focused to keep the people there. So A, create the attention. I, give them something of interest that will be related to them. D, give them that desire that says, hey, this is what I want. And the last is the action, that call to action that we're going to cover very shortly. The second, and this is the one I was going to talk about, is crafting that compelling call to action. So that's the A, that's part of it. It mustn't just be something, call me now. What is the call me now? Crafting a compelling call to action is, hey, let's set up an appointment so that we can discover and you can then relate it back to those desires and interests. Set up an appointment. So you want something that really leads them to that point where they're going, hey, yes, I actually want to make contact with you. And that's going to help to increase that conversion. So you've got 100 individuals coming into a source of marketing. They're reading it. They're getting compelled. They're actually feeling like you're talking to them and you're leading them to this point where you're going, push that button. Let's set up that particular appointment. It leads them through that point. So that's where you can actually start to craft those compelling call to actions. And the last one is something where, and I really must say to each and every one of you, is the first idea that you have may not be the best idea that you have. And that happens all the time. You see, we come across an idea and we say, that's the way we're going to do it. However, suddenly it's not getting any kind of leads. What we should actually be doing, and this is a good old-fashioned technique, is what we call the A/B testing. And this is something where it does take a little bit more work, but create, instead of just one article, post, or anything of that nature, create 2. Create sometimes even 3 if you want. But definitely the A/B testing, and if you're able to then share them out, so 2 different pages if you want to, 2 different marketing campaigns if you want to, they ultimately give you the same output. Remember, your idea could be influenced by you watching a certain TV program, or maybe you've heard something on the actual radio, and that's what's getting you in that particular direction. But it might not be relevant, or actually, it might actually not work for the clients. So create an A/B. These are 2 marketing campaigns, if you want to call it, that's running in parallel with each other. And then what you can actually do is you can actually monitor it. Now, a great way here is on a lot of the social medias, you can actually have 2 posting pictures. So it's 1 post and it's got 2 pictures. And ultimately what happens is through the process, it alternates through the actual process. So it actually has the A/B testing built into it. And you can select that option. And what you'll do is you'll suddenly go, hey, wait a minute, this one's actually giving me more results. Why is this one giving me more results? Well, now you can actually refine it, because ultimately what you want is you want to start increasing those conversion ratios. So as you're going through this particular process, make sure that you're actually mastering this conversion funnel. So I've gone through a whole heap of little things today, and I want to make sure that each and every one of you had this opportunity where you can actually start to master this whole process that you're going through. You know, I call this the Leads Avalanche. And why do I call it the Leads Avalanche? Well, that's exactly what we're wanting to do. We're wanting to take that lead generation campaign that's coming in, and you're actually taking those 100 individuals that you're trying to target. I'm just using a random number, by the way. Those 100 individuals, and you start converting them into potential leads that really can identify you. They see you as the actual authority. And what you start doing is you're taking those potential leads and you're starting to convert them into clients. These are long-term clients. These are clients that's going to give you repetitive and repeat business that's going to help you to grow your business. And the reason why I went through this is, as I said in the beginning of the session, was so many of us just do marketing. We do lead generation, and we're doing a fantastic job around it. But we're speaking to maybe 200, 300 people, and we're only getting maybe 2 or 3 leads coming in. And then we're finding out that even with those 2 or 3 leads, they're not turning into clients. So in going through this particular process, I wanted to help you to start saying, well, let's relook at the way you're doing your lead generation. This is one step just before what I've shared with you, so that we can then say, well, instead of talking to 200-300 clients, maybe we're only talking to 50 or 60 clients. And those 50 or 60 clients become relevant clients. They actually start to turn into maybe 30 or 40 great leads. And with those 30 or 40 great leads, I'm getting 10 to 15 clients going forward. In essence, you're starting to work smarter, not harder. And that's one of the key things that I wanted to get out and share with all of you today. There you have it, 3 key skills to trigger a lead avalanche. Remember, mastering these techniques is the difference between flatlining and exploding your conversions. Implement these strategies and witness the power of persuasion. Stay tuned for more sales boosting tactics on The Simple Truth with Stuart.